We Jews are believers in God. Zionism is don't trust in God. So Zionism is built up on rebellion against God. And it's not only that. But we have to know the enemy, the truth of the enemy, and fight them in the truth. In my understanding, there is no greater Israel. But Israel is enough evil that we have to fight. The dismantlement of the state of Israel will come 100%, because it's written in the Torah, a rebellion against the Almighty cannot be succeed. They will not succeed. Amalek is not specified, at least in today's day, on specific people. Now, without giving names, just think, who are uprooting people today?
Zionists.
Beside,
So for Messiah, we believe is Jesus. Muslims and Christians, we believe is Jesus.
the Messiah in the Jewish perspective.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers, sisters, friends, and the foes out there, and welcome to another episode of the Blood Brothers podcast with your host, Dilly Hussain. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest making his third appearance. He is the official spokesman of the prominent, world-renowned, anti-Zionist, pro-Palestine Jewish movement, Neturei Karta, and that's none other than my good friend, Rabbi Elhanan Beck. Welcome, Rabbi.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, thank you.
It's been nearly 2 years since you were last on the show. We've seen each other and spoken to each other since then. How's things with you?
Thanks to God. I mean, the last 2 years was very difficult 2 years, especially for me. But I don't think about me, because every time when I go through some difficult days and I think what's happened to the people of Gaza, I get crazy. I mean, I cannot look. What means difficult for me? Because the situation in Gaza keeps me very, very busy. I have very often interviews and speeches given throughout the United Kingdom, from Glasgow to Brighton and to Bristol, and all over the country. I travel around and I'm going to demonstrations here in London, the large rallies, and I'm giving many speeches. It keeps me very busy. But it's nothing what when we think what's happened in Gaza, it's impossible. We have to do much more, at least what we can do, at least to give them our support as much as we can. We haven't got the physical strength, the physical power to do anything. At least God gives us a mouth, we can speak, we can give them support. This is at least what we have to do with all the means what we can. I'm traveling many times as Jews. As a religious Jew, we are not allowed to travel on Saturday. So many times we are invited for Saturday to go to, like I was last time in Glasgow. I have to travel there for the whole Saturday and to stay apart from my family. I have to go there and stay in a hotel for a few days, from Friday to Sunday. And I do that much often. But my family agrees with me. They understand that this is at least what we have to do for the people of Gaza. We have to do much more, really. At least what we can do.
Besides the traveling and the attending the protests nearly on a weekly basis, you were also arrested, right?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your arrest.
I was arrested. It was, I think if I remember good, it was the 5th of May last year. It was by demonstration. And again, I didn't say what I didn't, what I done did, what the police say at least that I did. Then they say that they saw me burning an Israeli flag by one of the demonstrations.
Did you?
Oh, I didn't answer that.
Oh, you did a no comment. No comment.
However, but they have it on video. They show me, look, what's happened. I told them, what's the problem with that? It's legal to bear an Israeli flag. Yes, it's racial hatred. I told them, racial hatred? To bear a flag between tens of thousands of Muslim people is racial hate. To bear an Israeli flag between tens of thousands of Muslim people is racial hatred. And killing the children in Gaza is not racial hatred. But anyway, you know the laws, how it working, and they put me in arrest. It's interesting. When I sit down with the first interview with the police, it was 3:30 in the morning. It was a Saturday. And Friday night, 3:30 in the morning. And I spoke with the police. In the middle of the time, I asked him, I think that I know you. Again, I live in Stamford. I have to introduce myself first. My name is Rabbi Beck. I'm a rabbi here in Stamford Hill in North London. And I'm already involved in fighting against Zionism in the state of Israel for 40 years. I started in the USA. And I used to live in the USA.
You're telling the police this?
No.
You're telling my audience this?
Yes.
Oh, it's your third appearance. You people know who you are, Rabbi.
Okay, fine.
People know who you are. You're a famous face.
So, again, I live in Stamford Hill, this is North London, and my arrest was in the city, and they took me to the police station in Hammersmith. It's quite a lot. This is about 3/4 of driving, 3/4 of an hour. And I told the police, I think that I know you. Maybe you're working in my area. He told me, yes, I'm working in Stockholm police station. I told him, can I ask you a question? Yes. In Stamford Hill, as you know, they're leaving tens of thousands of Jewish people. They're leaving tens of thousands of Muslims. So, between Jews and Muslims, at least in a time like that, what's happened in Gaza, there should be fighting between the youths. How many calls you have a day to come to make peace? I don't know, to sort it out the problem. No. I told him, how many you have a week? Also not. How many a month? A year? No, nothing.
Fighting between Jews and Muslims.
Yeah, fighting between the youths, the teenagers. Yes, they're hot blood and they're fighting. No, nothing. I told him, why? How can this happen? It's a Jewish community, side by side in the Muslim community there. Why? The police told me, I don't know. I never thought about it. I told him, I tell you why. Because this is because my racial hatred. My racial hatred is to make this. The Muslims living in Stamford Hill knows the Jewish neighborhood. They knows that we are against the state of Israel. In the whole neighborhood of Stamford Hill, you will not see even one Israeli flag. Palestinian flags, you will see much of them. But the Israeli flag, you don't see even one.
What about in Golders Green?
Really, I don't know. I was in Golders Green, I don't know, maybe the last time I was there for 20 years ago, I don't know. I mean, when I'm speaking about people looks like me, this type of people, yes, with these curls, with a beard, these people usually are against the state of Israel.
But there's also Zionists that look like you as well.
In Israel. Outside Israel, usually as more religious a person is, as more is anti-Zionist. And in Israel, I know the situation is different. I mean, the settlers looks like me exactly. Unfortunately, and they are the very strong, the extremists, the settlers. But even in Israel, there are hundreds of thousands of Jewish people that are against the state. And they're boycotting the state as much as they can. They didn't take any benefit of the state. I mean, I have one of my cousins, he get a check, the benefit, like here is it, it's called
welfare.
Universal credit.
Universal credit, yeah.
Yes, he got a check. He didn't stop it. He got a check. He make a party every month. And all children, grandchildren, and then he take out a check, he tear it in two, he show them, this is our enemies. We will never take from them nothing. We don't need their money. We boycotting them. They don't participate in the votes. Now it's going on about the Zionist drafting people in the army, and our rabbi say for our youth, don't go to the army, rather go to prison and not go to the army. And hundreds of our youths are going to prison. They're not going to the army. And the police coming and breaking the door in the middle of the night. It's not like the English police here, yes? They're coming in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, and breaking the door and tearing over the house to search for people, taking them to the prison. And I mean, but our youths refused to go to the army. They didn't want to serve this brutal army. And they say that openly. And they say that for the police. I mean, they send it out now. 54,000 invitations to the army. 54,000! And the answer to this invitation was maybe 200-300.
Wow.
That's all. All of them are now considered as, I don't know how they call them.
Traitors?
Arikim, they told them. Like, traitors. And they cannot go out of the country because they will catch him by the airport. And where they catch them, they take him out to prison. 54,000 we're speaking now. They refuse to go to the army completely. I mean, there is a large percentage there in the state of Israel what are against the state of Israel. But outside the state of Israel, wherever you go, here in Manchester, you're going in Newcastle, you're going even in Europe, yes, in Vienna or in Belgium or in New York, in Montreal, in Argentina, in Australia, no difference. Everywhere you see people looks like me, most of them are against the state of Israel. I will not say not everybody is an anti-Zionist. I can say most of them are anti-Zionist. Like in our area, yes, there are many large synagogues there, and they are very strong anti-Zionist. However, I can say the rest of them are not anti-Zionist, but they are non-Zionist. They have nothing to do with Zionism. They have their studies, their education, their work, and they haven't got nothing. I will put it on that way. They will not shed a tear when the state of Israel will come to an end. Haven't got nothing to do with them. They didn't see themselves a part of the state of Israel at all. They don't interested in the news in the state of Israel. They don't consider themselves as Israelis at all. And they haven't got any ideas, but I can say 60%, they are strong anti-Zionist. And that's for why we have a good life in Stamford Hill. I mean, we're living with the Muslims. I can say more. All the minicab drivers, what we have, are Muslims. 400 or 500 of them. And we sending our small children 2-3 years in the schools. I never had even one incident. I can tell you, when I was, I don't know if you remember that.
Have you experienced anti-Semitism though? Have you experienced any anti-Semitism? Not from Muslim, but just generally in the last 2 years?
Anti-Semitism unfortunately is growing up. It's kind of happened. They're going in the road and I hear behind me, Hitler. People say, I say that so ironical. It's not. The Zionists say, we will save the Jews, we will save Jewish people from anti-Semitism. In fact, that you're only growing up anti-Semitism all over the world. When I hear somebody say behind me, Hitler, I know that he watched yesterday a video of Gaza. What's going on there? I mean, they're only growing up the anti-Semitism where people, when they don't recognize that I'm anti-Zionist, they get anger.
Because they automatically assume you support Israel.
Yes, not only supporting killing, supporting genocide, supporting killing small children.
I think a whole generation has been radicalized. As in to hate Jews because of the actions of Israel. I think the scenes that we have seen, the graphic nature of the death and destruction, the genocide, the children, the intestines, the organs, the bodies burning, I think it was streamed in 4K in the last 23 months. And obviously people who cannot make a distinction between an anti-Zionist Jew or a Zionist Jew or Judaism and Zionism, they automatically, like people do about Islam as well, they automatically assume that all Jews support Israel and therefore support
always. I just came in now, here to the studio. I come downstairs, I find a Muslim guy. He look at me, anger. And then he saw the badge. He say, the first time I see a Jew against the state of Israel, what's that? You are real? You are against the state of Israel? I can't believe it.
That happened downstairs.
Yes, just now. And when I told him that, yes, he turned over completely. Yes, from from like an enemy, he get the best friend of me. He told me, what can I help you? He tried to help me to find others in the studio. He tried to Google it. He tried to help me, tried to do whatever he can come up with me. We thought maybe it's on the 7th floor. We go down, we go up. We try to find it. And he goes with me to find out, to help me. This shows that there is no hatred between Jews and Muslims. There is no hatred between the religion. The hatred is about the genocide, about the occupation. I don't know if I told you a nice story what's happened with us. This happened really for 18 months ago in Turkey. We was invited in Turkey to a conference. And we came there to Turkey. In the middle of the conference, it was 3 months after October 7. In the middle of the conference, it came up Ismail Haniyeh. I believe you know, is it? He, the leader of, I'm not allowed by law to say the leader of what?
The deceased leader of the proscribed group Hamas.
Yes.
They're a banned terrorist organization.
Yes.
Under UK law.
And he came up to the, he came up to the stage and he saw the rabbis. He told them to come up to the stage and he embarrassed them. And they say that rabbis like that will be welcome in our future Palestine. We have no problem with Jewish people. We have a problem with our occupiers. We have a problem with the people who are killing our women and children. We have no problem with Jews. Jews will be welcome in the future state of Palestine. So the same thing we have with the other, with Fatah. But they claim many times, even Yasser Arafat say that in his days, he declared that many times we have no problem with Jews. We have a problem with occupation. Jewish people that wants to live peacefully, they will have a place in Palestine. No problem at all.
What would you say to those who, for the last 2 years, have seen the language that has justified the genocide centered around Jews and Judaism? That Zionists and Israel and the regime, what they've done is, whatever they've done, even reference to Amalek and the Promised Land and Judea and Samaria and all these types of things is couched in Jewish religious language and rhetoric. Now, someone who doesn't know the political or historical differences or the ideological differences between Judaism, the religion, and Zionism, the political ideology, since they are saying things around the Torah, around the Jewish history and heritage, what are your thoughts on that?
You look, this is not new. I believe in the Muslim religion there is also many people what they're taking out of the Quran things out of context to use them to kill people or to do other things, but it's completely not right. But they're taking out of context people what they have the knowledge in the Quran, they know that's not right. But people what they haven't got the knowledge, they think, oh, they say something from the Quran, so the Quran say to kill people or something like that, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is not new. This is something what's happened already for generations. But I will touch the points what you're asking about Amalek, about the Promised Land. Give me 2 minutes.
No, you have more than 2 minutes.
No.
Take your
just
time.
To explain the root. The root was the difference between Jews and between Jews and Zionists. People understand that better, and then we come to these points. So I want just to bring up the point. What means a Jew and what is Zionism? Judaism is a religion that God gave for Jewish people for 3,500 years ago on the Mount Sinai. Judaism, it's not a race. Judaism is not a nationality. It is a religion. Muslim people will understand it much better. What means a Muslim? Somebody who believes in the Muslim principles. If somebody will say, oh, I'm a Muslim, but I'm not a believer, what you will tell him? You're not a Muslim.
No, I'm not Muslim.
He will say, how you can say that? I'm already 10 generations Muslims. You will ask him again, you are a believer or not? He will say, no. He will say, unfortunately, you are not a Muslim. Mm-hmm. Yes, the same thing if somebody converting to Islam, he can be white, black, Chinese, no different. He's the same Muslim as you. Mm-hmm. Yes, because Islam is a religion. No difference if you live in a Muslim country or you live in the West.
Mhm.
You can live in the USA, you can be a Muslim, you can live in the UK. No difference. The same thing is Judaism. Judaism is a religion. You can be a black Jew, you can be a white Jew, a Chinese, a Japanese, from Argentina, from Australia. No different. No different. The background, no different. If you're converting to Judaism, you're the same Jew as me. If you don't keep the religion, you are not considered as a Jew. These are not my words. These are the words of Maimonides. Maimonides is one of our greatest leaders for 900 years, 1,000 years ago. He put the 13 principles of Judaism, and they finish, and I give the reference for the people who understand my language. It is Sanhedrin, Perik Chelek, South Perik Chelek. Maimonides say that everybody is clear in these 13 principles is considered a Jew. If not, is not considered as Jew. So this is Judaism. Zionism, from the other side, is a new movement of 130 years, 140 years, something like that.
Mid-19th century.
Yes. And Zionism have nothing to do with religion. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in the Torah. Ted Herzl was religious at all. Ted Herzl was the founder of religion from Vienna. He don't believe in God, he don't believe in the Torah. He have a different look for Jews. He think, what can unite Jews? They haven't got a Torah. We know what unites Muslims. The Quran.
The Quran, the Sunnah.
The Quran, they believe in the...
Yes.
yes. What unites Jews? The Torah. That's all. Nothing else. Not a country, not a language, not an army, not nothing. Only the Torah united Jewish as a nation. But if he don't believe in the Torah, so again, what will unite the Jews? The only thing what we find, we have to create our own country.
Mm-hmm.
So he created a country. But this is not enough. He tried to transform Judaism, emptying out from the holiness, fill it in with national movements, with national aspirations. Yes? So that's what they're doing with Judaism. If you want to be a Jew, you don't have to keep the Torah, you don't have to believe in God even. Just save the army, speaking Hebrew, live in Israel, at least support it, send money to Israel and blah, blah, blah. Then you are a good Jew. That's all.
Rabbi, can I ask you something
Yes.
related to this?
Yes.
People would say that, look, Prophet Solomon was a king and who had a state. Prophet David had a state. He was a king. He had an army. Prophet Moses wanted to lead Bani Israel to war, according to our tradition. So it's not like having a state or having an army is something alien to the Jewish tradition. Many prophets had armies and states.
Yes. It's not a contradiction at all. There can be a Muslim with a state. There can be a Muslim without a state. That's all. If you have here in England many Muslims, yes, they haven't got a Muslim state here.
Oh, no.
But they are full Muslims.
Yes.
There could be Muslim states like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, I don't know, many Muslim states. So there can be Jewish,
So
the same thing as Judaism. I come back to this point. There can be Judaism with a state, there can be Judaism without a
So
state.
what's wrong with Zionism?
But 1 second, but Judaism have nothing to do with a state. It's a side thing. You can be Jewish with a state, you can be Jewish without a state.
Okay.
Now, we come back to the point of Zionism. We come back to this point. I will touch the point what you say about the promised land. What you hear so many, I come back to this point, what the question what you're asking. You hear that very often Netanyahu say on the media, the waving the flag of the promised land, the promised land.
Mhm.
It's true. When you look in the Torah, you can see that God promised a land for the Jewish people. However, you can see that in the Torah many times, I think it's 40 times, written in the Torah, that the promised land is only conditionally. Only Jews will keep a high level of life. And if not, God say in the Torah that you will be exiled of the Holy Land. Now, when you look in the book, this in the Torah 40 times in the 5 books of the Torah. Now, you look in the books of the prophets, you can see that God sent many prophets to say Jewish people to repent, to come back to Him, and if not, they will be exiled. And at the end, you can see in the end of the book of Jeremiah that we were exiled by God, by divine decree. And again, I must point it out that the sins, why we were exiled, didn't was such big sins more than general people. But when God promised a land, it was promised for people that keep a special high level. This is a holy land. If you want the land, you have to be a high level. If you don't keep the high level, okay, then go out of the holy land. It's not for you. The holy land is holy. If you can behave on a holy level, fine. It's
So
good.
high
If not,
level
not.
means very God conscious, very
Yes,
pious.
yes, in many things we have to study
Yes.
in the Torah.
Take the religion, practice it fully,
Yes,
be
yes.
serious, committed.
Yes, but you can see we were exiled by God. The same God who promised the land, the same God who took away the land from us. He forbidden us but 3 oaths, not to rebel against the nations, not to go up in mass, not to go up and take back the land by force. We have to wait of the Messiah. Maybe we will come back later to the...
Is that mainstream belief?
Yes, not mainstream. Every religious Jews believe that. I speaking people looks like me. There are so many people that call themselves religious, they call themselves Orthodox, they call themselves blah, 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 but they're driving Shabbos Sakar and they're eating no kosher. I mean, I speaking in behalf of people looks like me. Come to Stamford Hill, yes? In Stamford Hill.
Not people who look like you, but in Israel.
In Israel, there are hundreds of thousands who they believe like me, but there are also settlers there.
So is that a mainstream belief that no state, because it's a punishment from God, and you'll get your state when the Messiah comes?
Yes. I touched the point of Messiah. We will come back maybe later of that. But don't make a mistake. Messiah will not be another Netanyahu. He will not kill innocent people, men, women, and children. We will come back later to this point of Messiah.
Please.
However, I want to come to this point, what you're asking. What you're asking about Solomon in David, that was in the time of the first temple. That was before we were exiled by divine decree. Before we were exiled of God. But after God sent us to exile, He forbidden us to take our own state. Now, in today's day, God sent us to exile. We have to stay in exile. We are not rebellion against God. It's like, I say that every time, if somebody have a child, he's bad, the father told him, I punish you, stay in the corner for 10 minutes. And the child coming out. What means that? Couldn't care less about you, about your punishment, to do whatever I want.
Yeah, rebellious.
This is rebellion.
Rebellious, yeah.
We Jews are believers in God. Believing don't mean when it's light. When it's light, you don't have to believe. You can see. Believing means when it looks dark. God sent us to exile. We lost our land. We didn't lost our belief in God. We are believing in God 100%. We believe that God told us He will take us out from exile. We believe in God. We are not going to take it by our own hands. We are not come out of the corner. We stay in exile. From the other side, the Zionist people, they are non-believers. They are atheists. So they say, how long you will wait in exile? Why? For what? God will take you out. There is no God. There is no God. They don't believe in nothing. So they say, we have to organize ourselves. If not, we will be lost in exile. We have to organize. So as you can understand, Zionism from the basic root is against the Jewish religion. Judaism means trust in God, believe in God. It's not only the Jewish religion, every religion. The first step is believe in God, trust in Him, don't rebel against Him. This is every step in Judaism and Christianity, in every religion is that the first step. Believe in God. Trust in Him. Zionism is, don't trust in God. Im eina nili mili, they say. If you will not help yourself, nobody will help you. There is no God to look after you. So Zionism is built up on rebellion against God. And it's not only that. I told you before that Zionism emptying out Judaism from the religion, filling that in with national movement. Now, if somebody will take away your country, I don't know which country you're coming from.
My parents come from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. If somebody will take away your country, he is your strongest enemy. But if somebody will take away the Muslim religion and emptying out all the values, filling it in with empty nationalistic movement,
problem.
And he have the power to speak in the name of Islam, and he confusing millions of people to go away from the religion, to become secular.
Well, we've had that.
Yes.
We've had military dictators in the Arab world who used
Okay,
Islam
could
to
be.
come to power,
But
and then they became oppressive and secular.
this is really a much stronger enemy for you as they take away your land. They take away the land, you tend to take away the physical land, the physical. But when you take away your religion, in the uproot, millions of Muslim people are put away from God.
Of course, a big
Yes,
problem.
this is the strongest enemy what you have. This is really what the Zionists done. Jewish people in the world are today 18 million. How many are religious? 2.
2 million.
That's all.
We spoke about this last
16,
time.
they are completely atheist. Who done this job? The Zionist people. They're confusing people. If you want to be a good Jew, you just have to save the army. Just support Israel. Finish. You are Jewish. And people get confused. Unfortunately.
Do you accept that, because you said Judaism is a religion, so what about the preservation of the lineage through the mother's line? Do you believe in that?
Yes.
So
This
what?
is, again, this is
So why can't someone be a atheist Jew but Jew by race? But you have them, you meet them.
Yes. I will explain you. It's very short. I mean, it's an important thing to understand. If somebody born as Jew, he have the obligation to keep the religion.
What
However,
if his mum's not a Jew? What if his dad's a Jew?
One second. However, if he don't keep the religion, he's not considered as a Jew, but he will get punished. Why? He didn't keep the religion. However, if somebody didn't born as a Jew, if somebody didn't born as a Jew, he have the 7 laws of law. He didn't have to keep the religion. He will not get punished. Why? He didn't keep all the 630 laws. Now, if the mother is not Jewish, then he's not considered as a Jew. He can become a Jew, but he have to convert. He convert, then he get a Jew. So again, what is the question? What is unclear here?
No, what I'm trying to say is that because you said that there's 18 million Jews around the world, of which 2 million of them claim to be religious, God-fearing, God-believing Jews. The others are a spectrum of either atheists or secularists, but don't really take the religion that seriously. But for they would argue, but we are Jew by heritage, we are Jew by race, we are Jew as a result of our mother. It doesn't matter if we're not religious like you, Rabbi Beck. It doesn't matter even if we don't believe in God. But we are Jew by race, we are Jew by lineage. Many of them say this.
It's the same if somebody come and say, I'm a Muslim by race, I'm Muslim by religious. You can say, maybe you are Arab by race, but not a Muslim.
No, wait, that wouldn't apply.
A Muslim you can only be if you keep the religion.
Faith, yeah, it is.
That's all. The same thing.
So are you saying you reject the racial aspect to it?
100%. They are not considered as a Jew. Let's say.
Some would say that's an extreme position.
Okay, they can say whatever they want. I mean, if you want to know what Judaism is, yes, you can't Google it. You have to look in the real books, the Jewish books, what is the Jewish code, what are the laws. In the Jewish law, if somebody don't keep the Jewish religion, he is not considered as a Jew. Full stop. I give you earlier the...
So where did this notion of mother's lineage, it's a race, not a religion?
No.
Because even under UK
the
law...
mother's lineage is only that is obligated to keep the religion. You are not Jewish, you don't have obligation to keep it. But he have the obligation.
Oh, but if the mum was a Jew, you're obligated
you
to
have
keep
the obligation.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Okay.
That means in our language, Yisuel afa pishachutu Yisueli. He is still a Jew. He have the obligation to keep the religion, but is not considered as a Jew. He's not like a Muslim, but a non-believer is not considered as a Muslim. A Jew is not considered as a Jew. I mean, this is not my words. This is the Maimonides, Rambam, in Sanhedrin, Perek, Chelik. Everybody can look. That's not my words. I mean, the Torah is not me. I didn't give the Torah. I didn't have to protect it. I didn't know to explain it. The Torah is the Torah.
No, what you're saying
with
makes
me
sense.
and without me.
What you are saying
Yes.
makes absolute sense,
Yeah,
because because in Islam we have the same position. You're either a believer or a non-believer. To believe, you need to believe in Allah, one God, and Prophet Muhammad as the final messenger and everything before. You can't come along and say, I don't believe in Allah, but I'm a Muslim culturally or by
100%.
Arab race. No, of course not. You can't do
The
that.
same
So it makes
thing
sense
is
to
in
me.
Judaism. 100%. They have the obligation. I don't know the Muslim law, but if the Muslim law could be also, if you're born by Muslim parents and they say, no, I don't care, I'm secular, maybe you have the obligation to become religious, and if not, you get punished. I don't know. I don't know the Muslim religion.
What you're describing, though, makes absolute sense, because it's similar, I would think, for Muslims and Christians, meaning the race is irrelevant. It's the belief and the practice and the manifestation of that belief. But what I'm saying to you is that, for example, under UK law, being a Jew is a protected racial category. Are you saying you're rejecting that?
100%. Not I rejecting not I rejecting that. Every Jewish rabbi, not a so-called modern Orthodox rabbis, I speak rabbis looks like me, everybody will reject it straight away.
Have you ever met the Grand Rabbi of the UK?
I never met him, and I will never met him. And not only me, all the Jewish people, even he looks like me. However, when you come in our area, I give you an example, nobody recognizes him as the chief rabbi. Nobody recognizes him at all. Maybe we need to use him sometimes when we have to speak to the government, and they only recognize him. We have to speak, but nobody. Let's say we need for all the foods
kosher requirements. So you have to lobby via him.
Yes. No. We have our own kosher supervision from our rabbinical. But if somebody come with food, yes, with the supervision of the chief rabbi, in my area, nobody will touch that.
Okay.
Nobody will touch that. Put it in the bin straight away. Nobody trusts him. How can he say, speaking in the name of Jewish people, when he's supporting LGBT openly? This is crazy. I mean, of course, this is against God. This is against the Jewish principles of the Jewish religion. But he supported openly. No, we are not recognizing him at all.
So when you hear very commonly in terms of research, poll, data, that the vast majority of global Jewry support Israel, I think it's somewhere between 76 to 82% of global Jews all around the world support Israel in different levels. So the majority of global Jewry are Zionists of some type. But what you're saying is that we have to first question whether these Jews are actually Jews in the first place. Is that what you're saying?
You told very, very perfectly. 70, how much you say?
76 to 82% of Jews around the world
Let's
support
say
Israel.
80%.
Yeah.
These 80% are completely secular Jews. They're calling. I must tell you that even in the secular movement, in the secular Jews, there are also large movements against the state of Israel. I mean, you can see that here in the marches in London. I don't know.
They're growing.
And you can see in the marches, most of the speakers are Jewish names. You can hear when they ask him to come up to speak Jewish names. The Jewish secular, there are many doctors and professors from universities, but are rejecting the state of Israel.
Do you wish to see more Jews doing this? Do you think enough Jews? I mean, 18 million is such a small number. I mean, that's smaller than the population of Dhaka city of Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yes.
So would you like to see more Jews? Because one of the arguments I've heard in the last 23 months is that why haven't there been more synagogues, more rabbis, more Jewish organizations coming out and speaking against the genocide? I'll explain to you why. You know, when we spoke earlier that, look, Dilly, amongst Muslims, you will also have people who distort scripture, who will use scripture to oppress and kill. You're correct. So when we had ISIS, the vast majority of the Muslim world and Muslims rejected them, condemned them, said that as Muslims, we do believe in a caliphate, but this is criminal, this is un-Islamic, we have nothing to do with this, this is a distortion of our religion. The majority of the Muslims around the world, nearly 2 billion people. Why is it that we don't see this large number of opposition for a state that's doing this?
Look, again, I'm speaking in behalf of Jews looks like me. Yes? of these people looks like me, the most of them are against the state of Israel completely. Why you don't hear from them? There are two reasons why. Jewish people are more internal people. You haven't got Jewish MPs. Again, Jewish looks like me. You never see an MP like me. Yes, we haven't got MPs like that, and we are not in the political life. We are internal people. All our ideas is inside. Even about, we touched the point of LGBT. Yes, we are strongly opposing that, but you don't hear it. We are internal. We're speaking about it in the synagogues. In our synagogues, we're speaking very often against the state of Israel, not very often, weekly. Our rabbis speaking that very, very often against the state of Israel. And if you come in Stamford Hill, ask anybody, you are Zionist? Yes? I don't believe you will find even one who will say yes. You will say no. Everybody will say, I'm a Zionist? You are crazy? I'm a Zionist? He will feel embarrassed. I'm a Zionist? No. But they are internal people. However, as much as we're coming out, the Zionists have a strong power on the media to quieten up every time. And you can see that here in London, every 2 weeks is another rally. Yes, our people are there by every single rally. Yes, even the Muslim rallies, the Muslim people on the rallies, that the media try to play them down. If there are hundreds of thousands, they say several thousands. Every time they play them down. But they can't ignore it. They bring some photos. But never, ever, you will see a photo of our rabbis there. Never, ever. Even one single time, you don't see them. Only on the social media.
Yes.
In the mainstream media, you will never saw that.
Neturei Karta and Orthodox Jews who oppose Israel and the genocide very rarely, if ever, get coverage.
Yes. I say that, I remember that from New York when I was there. For many years ago, there was a large demonstration of 30,000 Jewish people outside the Israeli embassy in Manhattan, the 2nd Street. It's a large road, the whole road was blocked. Not even one word was mentioned in the media. And even the police, when they say the road is blocked, they say there's some roadworks there on the radio. They didn't want to mention that Jewish people are demonstrating against Israel.
So
because the Zionists don't like any rallies against them. But at least the Israelis. But Jewish people, Jewish rabbis coming out, no, they will never. So you can see that they have a strong control on the media to ignore as much as we're coming out. They're ignoring that completely.
Are you, just in case any of our viewers and listeners get confused, the Torah Jews in New York, the same movement or different movement?
No, I think it's called Torah Jews. I didn't remember the website exactly.
The Torah Jews.
This is more or less from Satmar. Satmar is the leading community everywhere where it's a concentration. When Jewish people looks like me, Satmar have the biggest synagogue. Like in my area, in Stamford Hill, there are 10,000. Yes, Torah Jews, yes.
Are you friends with them? Are you allies with them?
Yes, we're working together. But they are not agreeing with everything, with all how to fight Zionism, that we are not agreeing. Exactly. Satmar are not agreeing with everything what Neturei Karta done. Even one time when we traveled to Iran, they came out to reject it, not in my name. However, but Satmar is the leading community in our area. Satmar have 12 synagogues, 12. In this area itself, they have 12 synagogues. A few of them praying there, a few thousand people. Very large synagogues, very large. And they are the leading community, I can say 60, 70, 80% of the community in Stamford Hill. And they are all against the state of Israel, 100%. They are awaiting the dismantlement of the state of Israel in full. And let's say in the Zionist Independent Day. On Zionist Independent Day, in the synagogues, they are making that a fasting day, not a celebrating day, a fasting day, and coming together to pray to God for the peaceful dismantlement of the state of Israel. Nobody looks for bloodshed. We're just praying for dismantlement. We hope and pray that it should be peaceful in a peaceful way. But this is Satmar, and this is not only here. In every single place where Jewish is concentrated, even in Australia, in Argentina, everywhere, Satmar is a leading community. And you can see in the website, they are totally opposing the state of Israel. They haven't got these ways how to fight Zionism, like going out on demonstrations. They're working more politically, speaking on the website and speaking in social media, and they pay tens of thousands of pounds to put in announcements in New York Times or something like that. They have their own way how to fight Zionism, but they're strongly opposing the state of Israel.
Brothers and sisters and friends, I see that you're enjoying the content. How come you've not clicked subscribe to the Five Pillars YouTube channel? And if you're watching via Rumble, how come you've not subscribed on our Rumble channel? If you like the content, you like the guests, you like what we're talking about, it's absolutely inexcusable and cheeky for you not to click subscribe. Thank you and Jazakallah khair. Are there other religious Jewish movements that are anti-Israel?
Yes, of course.
Besides Neturei Karta, besides the Torah Jews, there are many.
There's Bobber, and there is Vishnitz, there is Bells, there is many communities what are in general against the state of Israel. However, Satmar are the strongest. Satmar are very strong opposing. The other one, many of them opposing Israel, many of them are non-Zionist. They haven't got to do with them. It's nothing to do with them.
Why does the Israel lobby have so much influence within our governments? Mainly America, also the UK, but also many Western governments. Obviously, that's changing. Spain, Ireland, Norway, certain countries are now slowly changing their ways. We saw that recently around about a dozen Western countries recognized a Palestinian state. What that state is, how it looks like, will the Palestinians have a right to return or be compensated? None of that's been discussed, but we have seen a shift. We've seen a shift of Western public opinion change from either neutrality or pro-Israel to now questioning Israel to opposing Israel. But why does Israel still have such influence and leverage within our governments?
Well, look,
What's
Israel.
I know you always say, Dilly, I give from a religious perspective. Don't ask my political analysis. But I'd like to know your political
It's
analysis.
very simple. Just open the eyes. That's all. The Zionists, unfortunately, are quite clever. They are very bad, and they use the cleverness how to kill people, how to occupy other people, how to enslave other people. But unfortunately, they are clever. How they have so much influence in the UK, in the United States. Yes, you can see every small politician, United States, the day he started going up, the Zionists attached to him a personal friend.
APAC.
Yes, just nothing, just give him presents, a personal friend, take him over, he pay for his holidays, he take him for a trip to Israel for free, give him just nothing, they didn't ask from him, nothing. Every single small politician, every single one, and they do it with thousands, maybe tens of thousands, in all the money what they get from the United States, they invest back into that. Just make with him a private good connection with him, with his family, blah, 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 that's all. And then they're going up more and more, and they get strong ties. And at the end, you make a conclusion of all this, one, it's counted up to 10,000.
They're in Congress.
Yes.
They're senators.
Yes.
Governors.
It's not only that. The other side, when they get a power, they're going with the terrorize. Every congressman wants to come out against Israel. With the smallest thing, they're working very strong against him. How they're working that? Nothing. They didn't do him nothing. They just, for the next election, they put in millions of pounds in the campaign on
Against
the
him.
opposition. That's all. Not against him, on the opposition.
On the opposition.
That's all. That's all. That's all. And they're working very clever. The whole APEC, this is the job of APEC. That's all. That doesn't work very big. They're working only one. At the end of the day, it's counted up to a big power.
We have a similar system here, not as blatant,
Yes.
but we have a similar system in the UK as well.
They're using the democratic system of free votes and everything. They're using that. They go between the lines and they get the power. Unfortunately. I must tell you, when I looked at,
That's very subversive.
I couldn't understand it. I couldn't. If I was American,
Rabbi, that's very sly. Like that's like, if that is the case and it's the truth, and many have said it's very subversive, meaning like it's not genuine, it's trickery.
if I was American, I would come up with, I don't know, I would come up in the streets. What's going on here? We are Israelis or we are Americans? How comes the strongest country on the world, the strongest country of the world, every politician, if he wants to win the votes, he have to say, I will support some small country in the Middle East. It's crazy. What's going on here? We are Americans or we are Israelis. What's going on here? This is unbelievable what's going on. It's really unbelievable. I think this is a higher power of the Satan. Oh, you asked me about Amalek. I didn't come to this question.
Yes, because Netanyahu, within I think a week, 2 weeks of the war on Gaza starting, he said we'll basically deal with you as the Amaleks.
I speak about the Satan. I remind me about Amalek. I must explain. We cannot specify people today as Amalek. Amalek is more a concept. What means a concept? People who are uprooting people away from God, they are considered as Amalek. Everybody who uproot people from God, this is the Amalek. He's the real Amalek, and this is not my words. I told you, Judaism you cannot Google on the net. You have to read the books. I don't believe that you can Google the Quran on the net.
No,
you can Google it, but you can't understand it.
No, you need to read it in
You have to
Arabic
read
form.
and speak to scholars.
The exegesis.
Yes, you have to understand it good. The same thing as in Judaism. You have to study the books, speak to the rabbis to understand good what the Torah. Amalek is not specified, at least in today's day, on specific people. Amalek is these people who uproot people from God. Now, without giving names, just think, who are uprooting people today?
Zionists.
The Zionist people. They are the people who are uprooting 16 millions of Jews away from God. They're bringing the non-believing system on the world. They're making people be non-believers. The Zionists are the real Amaleks. And again, this is not my words. One of our greatest rabbis called the Chofetz Chaim. He's very well known. He passed away about 90 years ago. 90 years ago, before State of Israel. But the Zionist movement still was in power. Zionism is already 130 years. He said that in today's day we can say of the Zionists that they are the real Amaleks in today's day. And it is interesting, the same rabbi, he said, the Chofetz Chaim is also one of the greatest rabbis. You won't find 95% of every single house have his books in the house. 95% of Jews, everybody. He was one of our greatest rabbis. He said he don't believe that the Zionism will come true, that they will get a state. And then he say, if they will get a state, it will only be for a certain time. Because the state of Israel is a rebellion against the Almighty. They will not succeed forever. They will come to an end.
Inshallah. But on the kind of historical side, the Amalekites were people who inhabited the Holy Land, right? And they were fought. The people of Amalek
Amalek.
The Amalek.
Yes.
So these were
At that time,
there was
Amalek
a people.
was a nation.
Yes,
But
a disbelieving nation.
yes.
Yeah.
Amalek, it's not only disbelieving for themselves. They try to teach the whole world not to believe in God.
Yeah.
There was a specific nation, but
Who fought them? Under which prophet? Was it under a prophet that they were fought?
we fought them a few times. The first time was when we got out of Egypt, when God took us out of Egypt. And then 40 years later, Amalek came again. We fought him again. And then about 500 years later, the prophet Shaul, the first Jewish king, he fought them. And after that was small fights.
Sure.
But God promised that he will leave. You can't wipe out Amalek. Amalek will stay till God will reveal his kingdom on the world when the Messiah will come. And Amalek will be these people, the uprooting people from believing in God in the whole world. In today's day, they are divided up in all the nations. And I mean, in our history, we know about before the destruction of the first temple, there came a king, it's called Sancherib. I don't know if you heard about him. I heard from non-Jewish sources of history also about him. They know that. He was a king almost of the globe. I mean, the known globe.
The known world at
the known world at that time, yes. It was much smaller than today. And he mixing up all the nations from one place to the other, because he wants to make one global world under one kingdom. So he mixing up all the people on the world. So since then, we cannot identify Amalek as a special nation.
Because people have mixed so much.
Yes. But when we see people working hard to uproot people from God, we know that these are the dissidents from Amalek.
Or this is the characteristics of Amalek.
In today's day, this is really the Zionist people are the most people what he can identify with Amalek. Who is Netanyahu to say who is Amalek? First thing, he don't believe in Amalek. He don't believe in God. He don't believe in the Torah. He just taking out of the Torah some verses to justify themselves, to say Amalek and to say the promised land. They don't believe in the promise. Who promised that? God. You don't believe in God. He was here, Netanyahu, just, I didn't remember the last time, he gone to eat in a non-kosher restaurant to show I'm a non-believer. So who promised the land again? Who promised that? You don't believe in God. He just using the Torah falsely to justify falsely themselves. And just give names, Amalek. Everybody, I can give a name. You are Amalek. This is Amalek. The Japanese are Amalek. Why not? I mean, it didn't cost money to give names. Yes, but if you read the Jewish scriptures, the Jewish books, you will see what Amalek is a concept. The concept, the power of the Satan to uproot people from God. These people are identified as Amalek.
Whenever we've sat down and had a conversation on camera, it's nearly always in two parts. One is to do with Gaza, Palestine, Zionists, and then there's my personal questions that I'd like to ask about the faith of Judaism. But before we get to that part, I have one last question about the whole Zionism, Israel, Gaza, Palestine. 23 months on, conservative estimates say 65,400 people have died as of now. That's a conservative estimate. That doesn't include those who have been amputated, those who have not been found under rubble. The real number is actually much higher than that. A civilian population that's been starved. And let's be honest, Rabbi, we've seen what we've seen. It's things we've never seen before. Not saying it's not happened before. It has. It's happened in Iraq, happened in Syria, happened in many countries. But the first time we've seen it in high definition, 4K every day. People being burnt alive. Kids carrying their parents' dead parts. Intestines coming out. Brains coming out. Dogs, cats are dead. People are being burnt. Can there be peace with Zionism and Israel? Because you've always said to me, Dilly, I believe in I believe in a peaceful solution to the end of Israel. You've always said this to me. I just don't know how realistic this is. You can maintain that position. Do you still maintain that position?
Yeah, look, I will try to explain you again. I'm not a politician.
I know you're not. You're going to give me a political answer, though.
No, I can only answer that from the Jewish perspective. Again, I come back to the words of the Torah, and the reference I can give you is in Numbers 14, verse 41. Really, it's happened by a similar situation when God took out the people of Egypt, the Jewish people of Egypt, and took them to the Holy Land. God commanded them to stay in the desert for 40 years. You can see that in the Torah. And but there was many people, Jewish people, but they didn't agree with them. And they say, no, we want to go up now. And Prophet Moses told them, why do you rebel against God? You will not succeed. We believe that every single word of the Torah, it appeals not only for that time, it appeals for all the time. A rebellion against God cannot succeed. As explained in the beginning, that the state of Israel is a rebellion against the Almighty. God commands us to stay in exile. The Zionists say, how long we will stay in exile? How long we will wait for Messiah? It's too long. We will go out from the corner. So this is a rebellion against the Almighty. They cannot succeed. Why? Because it's written in the Torah, Lumu atem oivri mespi Hashem v'hilo isitzlach. Why do you rebel against God? You will not succeed. A rebellion against God will not succeed. And I can say that if you want, you can see that with your eyes. Look, the state of Israel is already 77 years, unfortunately. How many countries has been established in these 77 years?
Many.
50, 60.
Many.
Every one of them have peace. The only place you haven't got peace, even one single day,
Israel
is the state of Israel.
Since its inception,
Yes.
it's the only country that has had a daily state of paranoia and war every day since 1948.
This is the finger of God. They haven't got peace, and they will never have peace till they will come to an end. It's true, they are strong. They are one of the strongest countries today. But this is when you have political eyes. I haven't got political eyes. My eyes is religious eyes. In religious eyes, there
Greater nations have come and gone, right?
Yes.
Far greater nations than the
yes.
modern state of Israel
Yes.
have come and gone and perished.
In my eyes, Israel is the weakest country. Even today, that looks great, but they will come to an end 100%. Because like that is written in the Torah. And this is what our rabbi said before the creation of the state of Israel, that Israel will come to an end. Now, when we know that, for me is clear, like today is in the middle of the day, like the sun in the middle of the day, I'm 100% that the state of Israel will come to an end. Because I myself, I'm born in Palestine. I'm already 7 generations in Palestine. We gone out of there. We didn't want to live under the Israeli occupation, and I will never go back in Israel. I want to go back to the Holy Land, but only with my Palestinian passport.
Inshallah.
And I will get it. However,
Inshallah.
It's just interesting. When Yasser Arafat has died, he passed away in Paris, I gone up here to the embassy to pass my condolence. And at that time, I say for the ambassador that I'm a Palestinian Jew, and I want to claim a Palestinian passport. He told me, unfortunately, we cannot issuing passports today, but when we will, one of the first passports will be issued for you. It will be a honor for us to issue a passport for a Jewish rabbi to show this is not a religious conflict. Jews, but they haven't got aspirations to take over the land. They want to live under a Palestinian government. They are welcome in Palestine. This will be a honor for us to issue you a passport. Okay, this is beside it. I want just to bring it out. I'm campaigning very much.
You're very busy.
I'm campaigning very much in Israel. I'm giving speeches in Israel over the phone. Yes, like
Webinars and online conferences.
Yes. And I writing and I send many books to Israel to say for people go out of there. Many reasons. One of the reasons is, the first reason is simple. When you are there, even you are against the state, people don't know. They just say you are part of Israel. That's all. You giving the strength for the state. Even you are against them, you're fighting against them, but the world don't know about it. They just say there, Jewish people live in Israel. They don't know if they're against them. They don't know. They see people. Your body, don't give strength for these people. Get out of there. One of the reasons what I say to them, this is a danger place. People say, what danger? What do you speak about danger? Everything is good. No, what danger? I told them it's danger because it's written, the Torah, the state of Israel will not last long. They will come to an end. How it will look, the end? We hope and pray to a peaceful end, but we are not prophets. We don't know how it will look. We can imagine. We hope and we pray to a peaceful end. What can we say? I know that people asking, it's impossible a peaceful end. I told them, it is possible. It is possible. People thinking I'm fantasized. It's impossible. There will be millions of killings. I bring every time an example. Look, the USSR. I don't know if you remember it.
I don't remember. I studied it. The end of the Cold War. Gorbachev.
This was one of the strongest powers of the world. Yes?
Yeah.
And people think to bring an end to this power, it will cost millions of lives. It didn't cost one single life. And the same thing you see in South Africa. It cost lives, but not so much as people thinking. So that shows and proves that if there is a will, there is a way. If the nations on the world, look, the Zionists say every time they justify, one of the justifications of the Netanyahu speaking constantly on the media, Jews need to have a safe haven. We have to save Jewish people, and then we will give for Jewish people a safe haven, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I don't say any idea, just open the eyes and look. Where is the most unsafe place for a Jew today to live? In Israel. We live in all the countries peacefully. We have no problem. Not only in the whole world, even the Muslim countries. Give a look. There just was for 3 months ago the war in Tehran. Under the missiles. Iran didn't concentrate the Jewish people in Iran in concentration camps. They protect their own Jews under the missiles. When they send missiles to Israel and coming back missiles from Israel, they protect their own Jews. Jewish people in Iran don't know what anti-Semitism means. They never experienced it. And the same is in Morocco. The same is in Turkey. The same is in all Muslim countries. Jewish people living there today, after 77 years of genocide, 77 years of occupation, still they're living there in peace. Today, it's unbelievable, really unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I was in Morocco a few years ago, and I crossed over the borders from Spain. It's called Ceuta. I crossed over the border to Morocco. When I came in the border into Morocco, the Muslim people come to me, Rabbi, bless my children. I couldn't believe my eyes. After 70 years of occupation, still they're coming, Rabbi, bless my children. This shows and proves there is no any hatred between Muslims and Jews. However, I want to come back to the point. The hatred is only against the occupation. But I want to come back to the point what we spoke about, that
peaceful.
Yes, about I say all Jewish people living even in the Muslim countries peacefully. I say every time, here in England I live already nearly 40 years.
You told me. You still can't describe a soldier.
A soldier, yes. This means a safe country.
Whereas in Israel,
in daily life, every small child sees soldiers. This means peacefully. This means safe. This is the most unsafe place in the world for Jews, not to speak for Muslims. So the Israelis didn't save Jews. They only bring bloodshed and disaster on the Jewish people, not to speak for Palestinians. For Jewish people, they're only raising up anti-Semitism, and in the whole world, on high levels, people get more anger on Jews because people didn't make the difference between Jews and Muslims, and they failed completely. But I come back to the point what I'm sorry, you're asking the point.
Can there be peace with Israel
yes,
and
I told you,
Zionism?
if the
Because you've always said that.
yes, if the nations in the world, especially the US and our country, will, and I understand they're supporting Israel because they want to help Jews. They want to help, maybe they have a good intention, but please open the eyes. See the state of Israel not a help for Jewish people. This only brings bloodshed for Jewish people. If you want to help Jews, the most best thing what you can do for Jewish people is bring a peaceful end to the state of Israel. Look, you tried out already 77 years supporting Israel, yes? Try to quieten up the quieten down the Palestinian people, and you're thinking, okay, the Palestinian people, this generation, next generation, with 2-3 generations, they will not exist anymore, Palestinian people. Yes, it's like, again, I didn't label anyone with names, and I didn't go, but I just bring out the idea. This is really the Nazi idea, what Hitler think. Jewish people, we will wipe them up. Yes, 1 generation, 2 generations, and then you will have to go to the museum to look at a Jew. The same thing with the Zionists. Again, I don't give them names because it's illegal in this country to give anyone names. Yes, but this is really what the Zionists doing, what they're thinking about. We will wipe out the Palestinians, and it will go up 1 generation, 2 generations, to finish up with them. Finish. There are no Palestinians in the world anymore. But look, you're doing that already 77 years. You not succeed. Not only you not succeed, the Palestinian movement is growing up and up and up and up. Just look in the roads, yes?
It's a global movement now.
Give a look what's going on. Every 2 weeks, there are hundreds of thousands in the roads. Can you tell me even one single issue in the world what you have 10% attention like the Palestinian movement?
Nothing.
10%. You have, people don't get tired. They're coming out every 2-3 weeks on the roads in the hundreds of thousands. You quieten up the Palestinians, you're just going to the top. When the Zionists started in 1948, there was maybe 1 million Palestinians. Today, there are 10. What's going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? There will be 20, there will be 50 million. They're just going up. In the support for the Palestinians, it's just going. You can't quieten them down. This is not a way what the powers in the world choose to support Israel and try to ignore the Palestinians. They will not succeed. They're only making the problem bigger and bigger. When they will understand that, recognize that, if they want to bring peace in the Middle East, if they want to help Jews, not to help Palestinians, no, help Jews, bring an end to the state of Israel. This is the most help for the Jews. Jews can live in Palestine peacefully, like we live in Iran. People thinking Iran is the biggest enemy of Jews. Iran is the biggest anti-Semitic. How can people be so blind? Today, like, you can have a couple of £100. Take a flight to Iran. Look at it with your own eyes.
Not just Iran, other countries as well.
Yes.
North Africa.
No,
Iraq,
I take Iran because Iran is the biggest enemy of Israel.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The way it's least
And
defected to the
even
world.
when this country was the strongest enemy of Israel, Jews live there peacefully. There are synagogues, there are schools, there are high schools. The Jews have no problem there. How people can be so blind and ignore that and say these rallies are anti-Semitic and so on and so on and so on. Have nothing to do with anti-Semitism. So again,
So you still believe
one second,
in some notion of a peaceful ending?
Yeah, 100%. If they nations will recognize that helping the state of Israel is not a help for the Jewish people, if you want to help the Jews, please bring a peaceful dismantlement. When they will understand that if there is a will, there is a way. They will find a way. I'm not a politician. I cannot say the way. But if there is a will, there is a way. 100%. I want to come back one thing before
it.
you're going to other things about Messiah. I make it short.
None of the Messiah is linked to this part that we're going to talk about now.
Oh, okay. I can't wait till you ask it.
Yeah, so we've discussed Israel, Palestine, Gaza, Zionism. We've always done this whenever we've sat down. Now I have some personal questions about Judaism, the faith. I like doing this so it's educational for our viewers and listeners so they can see similarities between the two faiths and then the differences. I find it quite interesting. I also find there's also questions that I have that are unanswered. Can I start?
You can start, but usually I try to avoid to going into...
You don't have to give into too much detail. Right, so for Muslim men, circumcision is sunnah, meaning it's highly recommended, but it's not obligatory. What is it for Jews?
No, it's a strong obligation for Jewish people. Circumcision is not only a strong obligation, but even secular people, as long they believe even 1% in God, the last thing what they're keeping is a circumcision and Yom Kippur, 1 day a year. There's these two things what all the United Synagogues here, what they're eating non-kosher and they do everything. However, these two things they're still keeping, circumcision and Yom Kippur.
Is that because the circumcision is seen as an oath with God?
Yes.
It's like a contract of
Yes.
belief with God.
Yes.
Okay. In the Quranic story of Prophet Moses, he liberates Bani Israel, the children of Israel, from Pharaoh. He splits the sea. He crosses the sea. Pharaoh dies. He goes up to see Allah, God. Whilst he goes up, people worship the cow. Did this happen?
Yes.
And what was the punishment for those who worship the cow?
I mean, there is a general punishment for people who worship
What
idol
happened?
worship.
What happened?
There was the actual people who are doing that. They have been killed.
They were killed, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's only the actual people what are doing that, not the people who are supporting that and something like that.
So in the Islamic tradition, I think we have that the sin was so great that you had to kill your own family member who committed that crime. So
If it's happened that
Yes.
you have your family member, yes,
Yes.
yes.
um,
I mean, this is really in every law here in England. Let's say if I don't know if there is a punishment, killing punishment.
Rabbi, we don't need to worry about the secular English law. We're talking about our
Yes, no, I want just to bring out.
as in treason. You're talking about treason.
I mean, even the person who practicing to kill the people, if his own brother, what he can do?
Has to stop him.
Yes, but if his own brother go to a court and his own brother come up, yes, we have to kill him.
Mhm.
So what he can do? See that?
So we were also told in the Quran that Prophet Moses was promised victory in Jerusalem. God just said, all you have to do is just enter the gate. But Bani Israel refused to fight. They said to Moses, you go fight with your Lord. Do you have a similar story?
This is a story, but not exactly the same.
So what is the Jewish version of the story?
This is too long to explain the whole thing around.
Was there a refusal to fight?
Pardon?
Was there a refusal to fight when Moses wanted to fight?
It didn't was exactly like that. No, it was some stage what there was a refusal, yes. And then in that time comes out the decree of God to stay in the desert for 40 years.
It's so similar. So the punishment was to be in the desert for 40 years.
They will be for 40 years in desert, and they die in the desert, and their children, what are growing up, they're going in.
Okay. Pork is completely prohibited.
Yes.
Besides kosher, is there any other meat that is permissible for religious Jews to eat?
I mean, all the natural food is kosher. It's
Meat,
considered
meat.
kosher. What?
Meat.
Meat, no, only kosher.
Okay. I know you told me before that usury, interest, is okay to non-Jews, but internally you won't use it.
What is
Usury, interest. Usury.
What is it usury? I'm sorry, in English.
Loan with extra money.
Yes.
So you could do it externally, not internally.
I know that many people are using that for anti-Semitic
Reasons.
yes. I want to explain that very shortly. Interest, the business of interest is very big today. Yes? Every bank, everything, what you buy bonds and everything going with interest. This is a big business. Within the Jewish community, this business is forbidden. You're not allowed to use this business. We may do all other businesses. This type of business of taking and giving interest is forbidden completely. However, when you come outside the Jewish community, it's not forbidden. So when I come to handle with a non-Jew, with Barclays Bank, I don't know, with any bank, yeah, TSB, I don't know, I coming to handle with them, they allowed to take from me interest and they're allowed to give me interest. We may do this type of business with non-Jews, but within the Jewish community, we are not allowed to take, we're not allowed to give. This type of business is completely forbidden by God. So this have nothing to do with any racism or something like that. It haven't got nothing to do with anything like that. It have to do this type of business within the Jewish community is forbidden. Outside the Jewish community, it's not forbidden. People say you're allowed to take interest from a non-Jew, from a Jew not. But I'm allowed to give interest also for a non-Jew. For a Jew, I'm not allowed to give. I may take a loan from TSB Bank. I'm not allowed to take a loan from a Jewish bank. Yes, from Bank Leumi, I don't handle with them anyway. I'm boycotting them. But with Bank Leumi, I'm not allowed to take interest. Because, again, I told you, they have an obligation to keep the Jewish religion, even they are not considered as Jews, because they are non-believers. But however, they have the obligation to keep the religion. I'm not allowed not to give them interest, not to take from them interest. This type of business is completely forbidden.
Now, the general rule amongst most schools of Islamic thought, Sunni and Shia, is that women should cover hair. I mean, hands, face is difference of opinion, but one garment, hair covered, hijab, jilbab. Some believe the face covering, some believe the hands covering. What are the requirements? Are there any requirements for how women should dress within Jewish law?
Yes, we have to be covered, but not a hand and not a face.
Why do some women wear wigs?
Yes, because the law is that after the marriage, we have to make the difference between a marriage, between a girl, between a marriage woman. A marriage woman have to cover her head, hairs. But they haven't got hairs in the front, so they don't need to cover here. They have only to cover the back. The whole hairs have to be covered.
The neck can be shown?
Yes. And not like a closed neck.
Okay.
Close, completely
Not
closed.
open, not open neck.
Not open.
Okay.
And here, up to here, there are some, what they say, up to here, but not more than here.
Okay.
Finish. The legs should be covered 100%, completely. Even, yes, and yes. And so we are not allowed to we have to cover the hair, and most of ultra-Orthodox Jewish people, they are cut the hair completely. They cut the hair, and some of them are taking wigs because they're covering the hair with a wig, with the wigs.
Okay. So just to be clear, normal standard stuff like sex before marriage is prohibited. Major sin? Sex before marriage?
No.
Okay. Polygyny, having more than one wife?
No. Really, here it's a difference between.
Because many of the prophets had multiple wives.
Yes. This is a difference. Yes, again, original by the Torah, we may have more than one wives. Yes, Abraham have two, and
David, Solomon.
Yes,
concubines,
Jacob.
wives, Jacob.
Yes. The people what living in the East countries, where there is legal to have more than one wives today, they have even today could be maybe more than one wife. I'm not sure because I don't live in their countries. But in the West, one of our greatest rabbis 400 years ago, he make the, I don't know how to call that in
ruling.
The ruling, yes.
Yeah.
He make a rule that you allowed only to take one wife.
So he's saying
This is the last 1,000 years about.
Okay.
Rabbeinu Gershom Oira Goyla. He, together with 150 rabbis, they come together and they make a rule that we are not allowed anymore to have more than one wife. They see many problems that comes out by having more than one wife, and they forbid it. And since then, all the Ashkenazic Jews, Ashkenazic and Sephardic Jews, they are really the same in all things. They hold the same Torah, they believe in everything. Ashkenazi.
You are Ashkenazi.
Ashkenazi means the Western more.
The more
And
European.
Sephardic is the Eastern more.
Yeah.
Not exactly, because Spain
Whereas the
is
Mizrahi,
Sephardic.
the Mizrahi are the Arabs.
Mizrahi.
Yeah,
Mizrahi, the East.
Yeah, East.
Yes. The Mizrahi follow the Mizrahi laws, the Sephardic laws, and the Ashkenazi follow, but all the main laws is the same thing. There are small differences between them. One of them is the Ashkenazic, one of the greatest Ashkenazic rabbi forbid to have more than one wife, and the Sephardic didn't forbid it.
Okay. Now, Prophet Yaqub, Prophet Jacob, he had a son. He had 12 sons. So Yusuf and his 11 brothers, or Yusuf, Binyamin, and the 10 brothers. Those were the 12 tribes of Bani Israel came from. Do you believe in this, the 12 tribes?
Yes, yes.
Do you know where the 12 tribes are today?
No. As when I told you before, when Sancherif came, he took away 90% of the people of the Holy Land, of the Jewish people, in the mixing them up in the whole world, and we don't know where they are. No. Almost we can say that they are lost between all the nations. They are lost the belief in God, they are lost the Torah, and they are mixing up between all the nations.
Okay. Alcohol. Now, obviously, for Muslims, it's prohibited. Why is it for religious Orthodox Jews?
No, we may drink alcohol, but it's considered very not nice. You cannot find serious people drinking alcohol. Serious people keep away from that. We're drinking alcohol 1 cup, usually Saturday, and Saturday in the morning, another cup, just controlled. But drinking
As in
strongly,
drunkenness, yeah.
drunk is 1 day a year. What we're drinking.
Oh, yes, you have this...
Purim, it calls Purim, yes, 1 day a year. And even then, you can see a big difference between our drunk people and between the people what you see in the pub.
Okay.
A big difference. It is people don't do anything wrong, even they are drunk. Because people, even they are drunk, if they are controlled, they are not get out of control. They are...
So, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Abraham had 2 sons, Ishaq and Ismail. So Isaac and Ishmael. Do you believe in Ishmael as a prophet?
I don't want to comment any in that part where we are not everything what we believe the same with other religions. I can explain more on that, but something what we are not agreeing, I don't like. Not like. I have a strong policy.
I know.
Not to go in any.
But it's okay. Like but Rabbi, I have Christian friends. I'm like, I don't believe Jesus is the Son of God, and you reject Muhammad, but we can still converse respectfully. So Jews reject.
Really, I'm using that argument, what you say, every time when people asking me about the question of Messiah. Besides...
So for Messiah, we believe is Jesus. For Muslims and Christians, we believe is Jesus.
Let's come to the question of Messiah for 1 minute and I come back to your question.
Tell me the Jewish perspective on the Messiah.
The Messiah in the Jewish perspective, people means, Messiah will do the same as the Zionists doing, but Messiah will do that in 10 years, in 20 years. So what's the difference between him and Netanyahu? is completely wrong. To understand, again, I come back to this point. To understand Judaism and Messiah, you cannot Google it on the net. You have to look in the real Jewish scriptures to understand what Messiah means. Messiah will be a prophet. He will not do nothing. Messiah will haven't got any physical power. He will not come with physical power, say, I'm the king, everybody is my slave, and I will kill everybody. No. In our scriptures, Messiah is described, uni v'roiche v'lachamor. That means a poor man coming on a white donkey. We don't know what it means, because today are no donkeys today. Like many prophecies, but we don't understand, still it will happen, then we will understand.
Will he rule? Will he govern? Will he fight?
But what I want to bring out, the point, the description of Messiah is a poor man, not a person coming with physical power. Everything what will happen when Messiah will come will be done by God himself. Messiah will not do nothing. He will bring down on the world, the job of Messiah will be to bring down on the world much spiritual. Spirit in the heart, in my heart, in your heart, in all the heart of all the people, to bring the people back to God. We say in our prayers, the whole world, all the nations will come up together to serve the same God in harmony and peace. This is what our belief is in Messiah. This will happen when Messiah will come. The Messiah will come will be peace on the whole world.
Yes.
Everybody will serve the same God.
He will establish peace, or will he establish peace, or will he bring? How will he bring peace? Like,
he will come into the heart of people.
Okay.
And all the heart will all serve the same God. We will see God. We will not have to believe him. Everybody will see. And everybody will automatically come to him and try to serve him the best. Everybody will unite then to serve the same God in harmony, peace. This is our belief in Messiah. In Psalms, it's written, Hashem mulach tugelu uretz. When God will reveal his kingdom on the world, everybody will be happy. This is our description of Messiah. Everything what will be at that time, God will do himself. I believe that every believer will accept when they will see God. When they will see, but they will not have to believe, they will see God. Everybody will accept it. In them will be peace at that time. A Messiah will not be another Netanyahu by killing people. However, there's still people asking the next question. Can I ask you, in which way they will serve God?
Pardon?
In which way they will serve God? In which way?
Yeah, how?
Oh, the Jewish people say in the Jewish way. The Muslim people say in the Muslim way. The Christians say in the Christian way. So again, there is a reason why to kill each other, to hug each other. Mm. That we have to understand the point what you said before. The belief has never been a problem. The belief itself, it's not a problem. The problem is the occupation. The problem is when you force up your belief in others. You say you have Christian friends. Yes. Mm-hmm. Can I ask you? You can sit in the bar with your Christian friend by a cup of tea and discuss about the Messiah. He believes in Jesus. You don't believe. And you say what you believe. You believe in him. He say what he. You are best friends. You haven't got a problem with each other. This shows that the belief is not the problem. Yeah, the problem is only when you come to force up you believe on other people. Mm-hmm. But as long as you don't force up, let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see.
Yes. You're waiting for your Messiah. Yes. We're waiting for our Messiah. Let's wait and see. That's all. God will come down. Yeah. I believe that when God will come down, everybody will agree with God, what God will say. So this is our belief in Messiah. A Messiah is not a reason why to fight each other at all.
3 more questions. I've asked you this before, but I'm asking you again. Is there a concept of hellfire for eternity?
What is that? I'm sorry.
Hell, heaven and hell. So where bad
course.
people go afterlife.
Of course.
The killers, the torturers, the tyrants, the oppressors, the polytheists,
Yes,
I don't know,
yes,
all the
yes.
people who disobeyed and disbelieved.
100%. We believe in paradise and believe in the hell.
Okay.
Of course, 100% the way afterlife. We believe that the whole life on this world is only a preparation for the other world.
And is the other world eternity, yeah? Forever?
Yes.
Okay.
100% we believe in that, 100% in the way how I look on the world, my look on the whole world is a preparation for the other world. I mean, people make for the aim to have a nice car, to have a
Car, house,
75
jewelry,
car,
yeah.
and they have a Jaguar, I don't know, and they need a house, chip, and they have to go to holidays in Dakar, I don't know where they're going, yes. For me, all this is a joke. I know I'm not here for that. I'm here to spread the words of God on the world, to make people more believers, more closer to God, to serve God. I have a nice house, a nice car in the other world, not here. I have it there. It's not exactly looks a car with 4 wheels. It's a bit different. It's more in a spiritual way.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole goal of my life is to serve God, because I believe in a second world. It was one of our rabbis. It was very anti-Zionist. It was under the Yosefskis was under the communists, where they forbid the religion. And they arrested him, and they told him, I showed him on the gun, you see this? This is not a toy. He told for the rabbi. The rabbi said, this can only make afraid people, but they're believing in 2 gods and in 1 world. I believe in 1 God and in two worlds.
This life and the next.
Yes, so I'm not afraid about that at all.
2 more questions. The longest chapter in the Quran is called Surah Al-Baqarah. The prophet who is discussed the most in the Quran is Moses. The scholars of Islam said the reason why Allah talks about Moses so much, in so much detail, from when he was a child to when he was living with Pharaoh, to when he had his interaction with Pharaoh, holding to account, telling him to free the children of Israelites, the splitting of the sea, the worshipping of the cow. The Quran is filled with details of Prophet Moses and Bani Israel, the children of Israelites. One of the reasons we believe, of course, that the chosen people before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before the lineage of Ishmael, the chosen people were Bani Israel. They were the children of Israelites. They were blessed by God. Abraham, Ishaq, Isaac, Yaqub, Jacob. So we accept this. Right up to Jesus, we believe that the children of Israelites were the chosen people. By chosen people, let me just rephrase that for viewers and listeners. And let me rephrase that because I don't want this to be taken. By chosen people, I mean those who practice the truth. Monotheism, 1 God. Yeah.
I must clear that off, just a half minute. People say the chosen, like you heard it from Netanyahu speaking. We are the chosen people. Everybody are slaves. We may kill everybody.
Yeah, not chosen. I'm sorry, that was my problem. I have to apologize for this.
No, chosen people means not the people. Everybody
it's the belief. It's the belief.
Everybody who converts to Judaism, it's the same chosen.
Yeah, it's the belief. Yes,
he can be a black, a white, no difference.
No, spot on. Thank you so much because that gets used a lot. When I say chosen people or chosen ummah, I mean those who believed the truth about God.
Yes,
they had the purest belief in God.
Yes,
worshipping 1 God, the message to be just, to be good, don't lie, don't kill, don't steal, all these types of things.
Yes.
We are told, at least, that throughout many years, the children of Israelites used to always rebel against prophets. They used to always, here and there, disobey, not listen to the prophets. That's why God had to send more prophets. That's why sometimes, is there a similar belief in Judaism?
I will give you an example. You're standing someone's house outside, and you hear the mother say for the child, "You are so bad. Why are you doing that?" Why do you broke the cup? I don't know. Why do you broke the table? You're so bad. Every time you're doing things like that. Yes? Mm-hmm. You hear that from outside. You think that the mother hates the child. And the child is such a bad child. Yes? But it's another truth. The mother loves him. Yes? And the child is, in general, a good child. And sometimes he's doing bad things. And the mother crying him, hey, why are you doing that? Yes. But if you emphasize only this part, you record it, and look, the mother say for the child, you are so bad, you're breaking the table, why are you doing every time you're doing? Yes. It comes out completely a different picture. Mm-hmm. The same thing is about Judaism, according to our belief. I'm not going to speak about what other
I'm
people
asking about
believe,
your belief.
And I leave everybody believe what he wants. But according to our belief, it's true that God gives us the land with a condition if we keep a high level. And when we didn't keep the high level, God sent us prophets to repent and to come back on the high level. Yes? Mm-hmm. But we didn't go so bad as it looks. When you look in the books of the prophets, it's written literally written in the books of the prophets. Jewish people all over the generations rose on a high level with a moral life, what they have. When you compare them to other people, you can see that the moral by the Jewish people was much higher than by other people.
Morally.
Yes? Morally. I give this for one example. Yes. I give you an example even today. Yes. I live among Muslims. Yes. My whole neighborhood is full of Muslims. Yes. The moral by the Muslims is much better than by the non-believers. Yes. I cannot deny that. This is the fact. The Muslims have a more moral life. Yes. Than the other people. You don't see low lives there. I mean, yeah.
No, fair enough.
The same thing is by Jewish people. If you look with the right eyes, you can see we are keeping a high moral of life all the generations down. Of course, we didn't come up to this level what God awaits from us. He sent the prophets to say for Jewish people, come back, come back, come back. But it's like you hear the mother crying on the child, you are so bad, you are so bad. Of course, it's true. What the prophets say, it's true. But they didn't say the other 90%.
Final question. What is Greater Israel, and do you believe in it? Because the state...
Look, this is very important to explain that. Maybe you will not like my answer.
Who knows, I might like.
Maybe you'll not like it. However, we have to take this point. Give a look. Zionism is enough evil. They are murderers. They are committing genocide. Yes? It's enough. Why to fight them? We don't have to go in some fantasies to make the crimes bigger and to fight this fantasized
No, they've bombed 7 countries. Iran, Syria, Tunisia, Palestine, Lebanon, Qatar. They've bombed 7 Muslim countries.
So I'm not here. I'm not.
No, I'm talking about. You don't need to fantasize.
I didn't want even to say even one good word for the Zionists. Mm-hmm. Yes, but keep the truth. Keep the truth for your eyes. The aim, in my eyes. Give a look. I haven't got any connections with the Zionists. I haven't got any inside information, like we said. Yes, I look on that like everybody look at with the eyes. The aim of Zionism is one thing. Maybe you're not agreeing, but I think I'm quite sure in that. The Zionist wants to have their own country safe. Safe. What means by them safe? Safe means 100 miles around the country should be empty. They didn't want to have neighbors or they will come tomorrow to fight them. That's what they want. But they are not aiming to become a great country like from Egypt to Iraq or to Morocco. In my opinion, I don't believe.
Or you don't think the Zionists are seeking an empire?
No.
They're seeking
They're looking their own safe country. Again, I'm not here to say even one good word for the Zionists. I want to see them drop down in the floor.
That's your perspective. Sure.
Yes, I'm not here.
But you don't believe they want an empire from Indonesia
but
to
we
Egypt?
have to look the truth. You have to know your enemy, the truth of your enemy, and touch the truth point. Fight the truth. If you will make the enemy just fantasize, making it bigger, and you will fight all the sides, you will not fight the point. It's enough what they're doing. The truth, what you see, the genocide, what they're doing already for 77 years. Yes? The occupation, what they're doing to come to set up a country on the head of other people. By robbing away the country, by killing them, by exiling them, the Palestinians from the land, is enough. It's enough big. Yes? It's enough big that they deserve to dismantlement in fully. According to the Jewish religion, according to humanity, the whole land from the river to the sea should go back for the Palestinians in full, 100%. I'm not here to say even one good word for the Zionists. But when you have an enemy, yes, you have to understand the truth. Yes, if you want to fight France, Spain, you have to understand Spain. Yes, not say Spain. Spain is dead. Spain is here. This will not help you. You have to understand real what is Spain, how we can fight them, why they are wrong, and you have to touch this point. The same thing is Israel. I don't think that Israel have aspirations to get bigger. They want only their own safe country.
With like a safe radius around it.
Like that, whatever they will see for their safeness, they want it. They want to empty maybe Syria, to make a whole Syria till Damascus empty land. I don't know what they want. But the aim is not to get bigger. The aim is, I want to stay safe. This is the aim. But if they want a country, why the Palestinians have to what do you want from the Palestinians? People say, Netanyahu say every time repeating, we're going through the Holocaust, the Holocaust, the Holocaust. What do you want? Yeah, the Palestinians didn't make the Holocaust. Yeah. Why the Palestinians have to pay the bill what the Nazis has done? Yeah. I mean, they have no right, even not the 1% right to have this land. They say the promised land, falsely, fiercely. Who are Netanyahu to say the promised land? Who promised that? You don't believe in God, you don't believe in the Torah. But as I told you, the promised land is completely false. God promised the land conditionally. The same God who promised the land, he took it away from us. So they have no right, even 1 inch of a land. But we have to know the enemy, the truth of the enemy, and fight them in the truth. And when we emphasize them, if we fight the emphasize, we will not get to the point.
Rabbi.
So in my understanding, there is no greater Israel. But Israel is enough evil that we have to fight them up. They will get dismantled. When I'm speaking fighting, I don't speak about physical means. We haven't got a physical means to fighting.
Yeah, you don't. Others do.
I can't comment. I myself, I pray to God constantly for a peaceful dismantlement in it. The dismantlement of the state of Israel will come 100% because it's written in the Torah. A rebellion against the Almighty cannot be succeed. They will not succeed. We pray that should be in a peaceful way. That's all what we can say. And I hope very strongly that the state of Israel will come to an end in our lifetime.
Inshallah.
And I hope I will go back to the Holy Land with a Palestinian passport. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Rabbi Beck, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. It always is. You're one of the most appreciated and most popular guests on the show. The show's been around for like 6-7 years, and people always ask about Rabbi Elhanan Beck. I said, who knows, maybe me and the Rabbi might start our own show, maybe. But thank you so much for your time. It was great having you on.
Thank you.
Brothers, sisters, friends, I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed this podcast as much as I did. Do remember you can find this episode on all 4 seasons on all the major audio platforms. And if you're tuning in via YouTube, don't be cheeky. Do remember to click subscribe to the 5 Pillars YouTube channel. You may have wondered, we're in a bit of a new studio, new setup. We're in the process of doing up the new Blood Brother studio. So you might see some tweaks and changes in the next couple of episodes. But inshallah ta'ala, once the full studio is ready, I'm sure everyone will appreciate it as much as I have been and excitingly preparing for it. Take care, my dear brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.